like there's another challenge for us to face that is typical of what I think we've had to endure the entire year, one way, shape, or form. And the most important thing for us now is to stay focused on that which we can control as we prepare for whoever we're going to play in the ACC tournament. We just have to stay focused and concern ourselves more about what we do, and we're very familiar with most of the teams in the league, so and they're familiar with us. So it's just a matter of us just staying focused and moving on to wait until we see later on the night who exactly we will be playing.
We'll go to Billy Witz from the New York Times first.
Yeah. Leonard, this is what does this tell you, just about Duke having to basically have their season ended? The last 4 or 5 months, these haven't been season ending things. You just shut down for a while, and try to come back. Does it sort of reemphasize, I guess, how fragile everything is now with conference tournaments and then the NCAA tournament coming up?
Well, these are unprecedented type times that we all have had to find ways to be prepared for. I mean, we've never had to deal with anything like what we're facing now. And I think the most important thing here is that we just need to try to get through this season as safe as possible and hope that we never have to deal with it again. It just has been extremely challenging for our players, but I'm hoping that we all will be stronger as a result of going through this. This is a sign of the times. I mean, it's been happening in every walk of life. And unfortunately, we have, unfortunately, there's been a lot of lives lost as we try to navigate through this pandemic that we have never faced like this in our lifetime. And so, Billy, I just think that preparing yourself for the unexpected is what we've been trying to do all year long. It's unfortunate that we won't be able to play this game today, but we have to deal with it in a matured way and just be glad that no one's put at risk.
Luke from the Raleigh News and Observer.
Yeah, Leonard, this news comes almost a year to the hour from when your team was pulled off the floor last year. When you got the news this morning about Duke, did you have any sense of deja vu, or that we were kind of going through some of this again?
I tried to avoid any of that philosophical stuff, which you get caught up in. This is not the time to be trying to reminisce about the negative. I just made very matter of fact with our players. I told them last year in Greensboro this time that this was a situation that we had to learn how to deal with, and that we had to be mature enough, because us not being able to play and our inability to enjoy the pleasure and the good feelings of playing and competing, something we love, would be pale in comparison to someone having something adverse happen to them because of the game. So we were going to have more games to play. We'd have more games to coach. Let's understand that this decision was made for the best interest of everybody, and that we had to handle it in a matured way, and that this wouldn't be the first thing that I'm sure that we'd have to deal with as a result of the pandemic. And so let's don't get caught up feeling sorry for ourselves. Let's just consider this a blessing that the protocols have worked, and we possibly could have avoided something unfortunate happening.
Go to Chris Nee.
Hey, Leonard, I was just wondering, how will you handle today differently now that there isn't a game? Will you guys try to practice? Will you do anything?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to practice. We're not going to it's not going to be anything. We're not going to change anything other than we don't really know who we're playing. But we're gonna work on ourselves, work on the things we feel that we need to improve on. We're gonna have a little bit of a up and down practice. We're not gonna overdo it. We're gonna concern ourselves with what we can control. That's our ability to come as close as we can to executing what we have in our game plan. And then hopefully that'll be enough for us to be successful. I'm not real sure we're going to change anything. It's not that we're going to put in a new offense or a new defense philosophy. We just have to make sure that we tweak. We have enough time to tweak the points of emphasis that we will have to come up with in relation to who we're playing. But what we do and how we do it will be basically the same as we've been doing all year.
Go to Kurt from Democrat.
It was going to be a game tonight against the team who didn't play during the regular season, which I think would have been a first in ACC tournament history. It could be tomorrow as well if it's Virginia Tech. I guess not maybe playing a team for the first time in the ACC tournament. I guess how does that present a different challenge where you don't kind of have the previous experience against them?
Well, like I said earlier, it's more once you get in the postseason tournament, it's more about you than it is about who you're playing. I mean, so we're going to be who we are. They're going to be who they are. And most of the time, the team that wins will be the team that come the closest to reaching their potential versus the other. So it's not as much about who we playing as how we perform in relation to who we are. And that's what we're going to address.
Go to Steve Wiseman from Durham.
Hey, Coach, have you had a chance to talk to Coach K this morning, and what was that call like?
Not this morning. The last time we had it, he and I talked, but I'm sure that he's disappointed. I'm not going to burden him with an unnecessary conversation that I totally understand. It's unfortunate that we're not going to be able to play for his kids and for ours. We all know that Coach K is a class act and he does things the right way. And this is unfortunate that it happened when they were playing as well as they were playing. So we understand. I don't feel like it's necessarily important, but out of respect, I'm sure at some point we'll talk and discuss it and move on.
Next, go to Ira.
Hey, Coach. So just not being familiar with the tournament, what practice time you guys get inside the arena? Will you guys be able to shoot in the arena at any point before you warm up for that game?
We shot in the arena yesterday.
Okay, great. Thanks.
And then so we'll be practicing in the G League practice facility today.
Great, thanks.
Aaron Beard, you got a question?
I'm good, thanks.
Any more questions for Coach Hamilton?
Yeah, Chuck, I'll take another one.
Okay, Billy.
Yeah, Leonard, I guess, just because this is Duke, this is going to get a lot of attention. And I don't know, does it send a message, I guess, to other teams that are playing and trying to get into the NCAA tournament, and kind of what this, just how, I used the word fragile before, but just how, I guess, important it is to try to, this was one test, it seems, that shut down, an entire season.
Well, I don't know exactly what the circumstances that caused this game to be canceled, but I do think that every coach in America is concerned about how fragile what we're doing is, and that you really have to stay within your own little team bubble, where you go, where you eat, where you sleep, who your friends are, who you come in contact with, the sacrifices that you have to make. This is part of what we've all had to go through. And you can be the most disciplined person in the world, but by accident, you run into something that you don't even know where it came from. So this is what we're all facing. That's why you have to have a tremendous amount of respect for the conferences, the schools, the players, and everybody involved with how, in the big picture, we've had very we've had fewer problems probably than we've had some stoppages and some setbacks, but fortunate that we haven't had anybody that have anything really seriously happen to them that I know of. So you have to give the props to the trainers, the individual schools, the team, the doctors, the conference oversights, the NCAA. I just think that it's been a tremendous effort on everybody's part trying to keep everybody safe, and I think there's a lot of positives and a lot of accolades need to go around for us being able to get through this season.
Thank you.
See, any more questions for Coach? All right, we'll let Coach drop off real quick. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.